Hey guys, this is Austin, and today we're taking a look at my favorite headphones for 2019. Before we get started though, I've got to give a huge shout out to the sponsor of this video, LG and the LG Gram. Now not only is this a great laptop to listen to music on, as we will be doing here shortly, but importantly, it is also a solid laptop which I've covered in many videos in the past. Now this is the new 14-inch version, which is thankfully finally a 2-in-1. So of course the Gram has had a touchscreen for a while, but having the additional modes makes a big difference. You aren't giving up performance either with a full Whiskey Lake Core i7 processor. The real star of the Gram though has always been the battery life as well as the portability. Now with a massive 72 watt-hour battery, it easily lasts through a full day of use, and importantly because LG marketing people are clever, the Gram name is not just for show. This entire laptop only weighs about 1 kilogram, which in American terms is very, very light, or like 2-point-something pounds. When it comes to a single laptop that does basically everything well, it is hard to go wrong with the LG Gram. Headphones, on the other hand, are a little bit more complicated. Now there are tons and tons and tons of different options, but one of my favorite picks is actually one of the cheapest on this list, the OnePlus Bullets, at a massive, wallet blistering price of $20. Now don't let the OnePlus branding fool you. Even though these are of course made for the OnePlus 6 and OnePlus 6T, they've worked with every USB-C device I've tried, including the Gram, including the iPad, including Macs, and pretty much anything else I've plugged it into, I've gotten a pretty solid sound out of them. Dude, the buildup is real. So the cool thing about the Bullets is that while yes, they're not the greatest sounding headphones in the world, they sound surprisingly solid. There's a lot of punch, there's a lot of bass, but you don't really lose a lot of the high end. And importantly, you're spending $20 here. I think if I was blindfolded and put these next to like a $70, $80 pair of headphones, I probably would still go with the Bullets. They are really impressive for the price. The only small issue I've run into is that sometimes the ear tips actually come off in my ears, but to be fair, I have been using this pair of Bullets for, what, 6 months or so now? So it's gotten a little bit on the older, crustier side. But all that being said, you get the inline controls, you get the mic, and like I said, it works on pretty much anything USB-C. If you do have a phone that doesn't necessarily have a headphone jack, the OnePlus Bullets are a great choice, unless you use an iPhone. Now this next pair of headphones wasn't originally going to be in this comparison until Ken got me a pair from Mystery Tech. These are the Zero Audio Carbo Tenor. It's not a great name. What they are is a great pair of headphones. So at only $40, what you're getting here is not only a little bit of a better balanced sound, and they're also really, really tiny, but importantly, they have killer isolation. I mean, once you put these things in, it totally drowns out the background noise. Like, Ken, say something right now.
Hi, how's it going?
Okay, I can hear you, never mind. If I'm being real, I had never even heard of these headphones until Ken got them from Mystery Tech, but they have a surprisingly good sound. I mean, again, we're talking $40, so we're getting a little bit up there in budget, but still, in the grand scheme of things, not too bad. The detail in these headphones is super impressive, right? It's not something that I usually have because I do usually listen to headphones a little bit more of the bass, but like, you just hear every little crinkle and crack and pop, and it sounds like a Rice Krispie commercial. You hear all the music. You hear all the music. For $40, it is hard to go wrong with the Zero Audio Carbo Tenor. They're good headphones, just buy them. My favorite pair of in-ear headphones right now though are the Final E4000s, yet another Mystery Tech item, and honestly, these live in my bag every single day. Some of these other headphones I kind of bring out from time to time. If you're talking about what I'm listening to, not only edit on, but also just to listen to music and whatnot, usually the Finals are what exactly lands inside my ear canals. There's a little too much detail, but it's fine. So what I really like about these headphones, which, I mean, I guess this makes sense, is of course that audio quality. So not only are they very nicely detailed, but importantly, pretty much everything sounds good, right? So you wanna listen to something a little bit more bass heavy, solid, great, it's got a very special sound there, but also it doesn't lose any of the detail on the highs. I mean, it's just a really solid all-around package. And honestly, that's a big reason why I listen to these, right? They live in my bag, I can edit on them, I can listen to music, podcasts, whatever the case is. I know I can trust the sound to be not only pleasing, but also reasonably accurate. They also do have a detachable MMCX connector, which means that while it does come with a 3.5mm cable, you can swap it out with either USB-C or something like Lightning. So the main takeaway here is that if you have a little bit of a budget, these are absolutely killer for everything that you listen to. That sounds really aggressive, but it is true. I love these headphones. I seriously love them. Like, You have to really step it up with Mystery Tech to get me to give these up. Now these next pair of headphones are by no means new, but they've been in my rotation for years now. These are the Grado SR80Es. Now I think I did my first video on these like back in 2015, and while they're definitely a little bit on the specialty side of things, again, you're getting a very unique sound with these guys. Plus, you're getting a very cool retro style. Now with an open back design, the main downside here is also one of its main strengths. It has excellent soundstage, and it does sound very, very different than most closed back headphones and even a lot of in-ear headphones. But that downside is that everyone else is going to hear exactly what you're listening to. Let me demonstrate. Oh no. Wait. No! It's rattling. Okay, so here's a little inside baseball. So we actually shot this video a few months ago, and due to some time constraints, we actually had to reshoot it because some of the headphones changed. In that video, I broke my last favorite pair of headphones, the Status CB1s. They literally just broke. They were completely fine 5 minutes ago. Do you see that, where it snapped? It's like a cursed video, man. It's just taken another victim. So I guess normally what I would say is that the Grado SR80Es have that super impeccable sound, and especially if you have something like a Dragonfly, like a really nice DAC, it will really make these things come alive. But I guess the downside is, well, actually kind of the same downside I mentioned in my very first video. They are very cool retro looking headphones, but build quality is what I would say, straight out 1983. Say you want to go fully wireless. Well, the next item I would recommend, and hopefully these don't break, are the brand new AirPods 2. Now, the original AirPods I got a ton of use out of, right? I mean, sure, they don't sound amazing, but importantly, the actual, just the seamlessness of how they worked, especially back when they first came out, I mean, mind you, this is almost 3 years ago, was totally game changing. Now with the AirPods 2, it's a little bit more of a subtle upgrade. It's not really a huge difference as far as the audio side of things, but we do get some nice additions. Also, man, these pair so fast. I literally pulled it out of the case and it was already done. I mean, as far as audio quality goes, these aren't any better than the original AirPods, right? And to be fair, these are the same price. So the main difference here is that you can pick up the wireless charging case version, which is cool, although it's like $40 extra. But really the main difference with the AirPods 2 is that they sync a little bit faster, and they have a couple of additions like Hey Siri. But realistically, I mean, they just replace the old AirPods and they do exactly the same thing for me, so they're just a little bit faster. The cool thing about these though is just how seamless they are. So right now I'm listening to music. If I take it out, it immediately pauses my music. I can very easily sync just one AirPod, if not both at the same time, and it's all connected to my iCloud account. So between phone, Mac, iPad, whatever the case is, everything just works super seamlessly. And that's really the key to this. The most expensive pair of headphones in this roundup are also probably the best all-arounders. These are the Sony 1000X Mark IIIs. Now, this is a pair of headphones which I think a lot of people have gotten excited about. Now they're expensive, right? I mean, these are what, like 350 bucks? Yeah. Now, of course, this is a pair of Bluetooth headphones, but you can't connect it over a normal 3.5mm jack. But what's nice about them is that they have a ton of cool features. So they charge via USB-C, they'll last up to 30 hours on a charge. And on top of that, they have straight up the best noise cancellation I've ever heard on any pair of headphones ever. It even has some cool things like if you hold your hand on the side, it'll turn on ambient mode, which will allow you to hear your surroundings, pull it away, and your music cranks right back up. There's so much cool stuff here. Oh, also I should probably mention, they sound really good, which is a very important component of a $300 pair of headphones. I should have mentioned that first, I think. There's a little bit of an emphasis on the bass side of things, but they do sound pretty good. But the main thing here is that if you're interested in something that's a little bit on the noise canceling side of the spectrum, and you've got some budget for it, the 1000X Mark IIIs are totally dope. So those are my picks for my favorite headphones of 2019. As always, links to everything, including the dope LG Gram, will be in the description. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm going to go waste a lot more money on buying more headphones so I can do this video again in 2020. Or more specifically, Ken is going to go waste a bunch more money.